in the world, he's going to find a way up more often than not, but we've got to make it as hard as possible for him to get going. And by the use of spin and just making sure that we're not too obvious with our line and length with the pace bowlers, we feel like we can try and break his rhythm and create an opportunity. Had's made a really good point. You've got to take your chances in this format, especially in an 8-over game like the other night, and we gave him too many chances.
Yeah, so 88 of 55 balls the other night, just a week ago, against the Hurricanes. Surely they will have gone back, looked at the tape, worked out a bit of a game plan for him based off that performance down in Tasmania. Does it change too much given we're at the Gabba tonight? And he'll be wanting to put on a big show for all the people that have come out just to see him.
Yeah, I think one thing that they can use, the Hurricanes, use the ground to your advantage. You need Chris Lynn hitting away from the change room end, but you can go over all the analytics, you can get all the matchups you want, and some numbers really stand out there. But the one thing I would do to change Chris Lynn's rhythm, when he walks to the crease, everyone wants to feel settled. So from a fielding point of view, you need to be waiting, you need to be in position, the bowler needs to have the ball and hurry Chris Lynn up. He likes to get in the rhythm of the game, he plays this, so we can do all the analytics we want. But what we're trying to do, we're just trying to get him to do something different. So another way to do that is speed the game up and say, come on, Chris, we're waiting for you, the camera's on.
Time for a quick break here on Fox Cricket. Coming up next, we'll cross live to the Gabba. Brisbane Heat coach Darren Lehmann is standing by. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the home of the Big Bash.
A rough sentence is no match for a smooth talker. Ask James Squire, who stole hops to make beer. He got off lightly with 150 lashes. The judge got to mail. Funny that. James Squire, 150 lashes.
Hey Joe, how was your holiday?
Man, travelling with excess baggage is hard. But getting back international card transaction fees is easy. How good are these shirts, boys?
You've picked out the perfect car. Save yourself the runaround and Mogo it. Mogo alerts dealers to your request so they can send you their best deals. Go where the deals come to you. Mogo. Cars made easy.
It's important to do the best I can at work and still be there for my kids. The Army gives me the flexibility to do that. I'm Shannon, and this is my Army.
Great trip. That will be $114 for the night, please.
$130 for the night, please.
That is $94 for the night, please. Unbelievable. Why are there so many different prices? And why did we pay so much?
The same hotel can have many different prices, but if you use Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide, making it simple to find a great deal on your hotel.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Hotel Trivago.
ICC Women's T20 World Cup. February 21 to March 8. Adults from $20, kids just $5. Get your tickets today at T20worldcup.com.
We have a lot of customers coming into Bunnings and they're absolutely amazed at the quality of products we have at really affordable prices.
4-litre Taubman's all-weather exterior, only $73.90. Ryobi 18-volt lawnmower kit, $399. Holman Spotlight Pack, $99. Irwin Quick Grip clamps, just $29.70.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning. That's our policy.
You've picked out the perfect car. Save yourself the runaround and Mogo it. Mogo alerts dealers to your request so they can send you their best deals. Go where the deals come to you. Mogo. Cars made easy.
Keep up with the conversation this summer. Get one of Australia's leading newspapers delivered on Saturday and Sunday, plus full digital access for 50% off for the first 12 weeks. Search 50% off news now.
Sit back, relax. This is going to be fun.
Let's go.
First one, way back. That's so the showground.
Tom Batten was a man possessed the other night against the Thunder, racking up the second fastest 50 in Big Bash history. Can he do it again tonight in front of a packed out house up there at the Gabba? Let's cross live now to the ground. We've got Brisbane Heat coach Darren Lehman standing by for us. Good evening to you, Wolf. That was some performance from your opener the other night. Can we expect to see more of the same tonight?
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? I'd hope so. I mean, it was pretty special. It was a rain-shortened game, so obviously they went from the get-go, but he played beautifully and obviously got off to a fly against Ferg's Sydney Thunder, who were the form side. So really pleased with the performance, a bit of luck with the rain, but tonight looks a beautiful win. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game here.
Well, for its hat, it's the last time these two teams meet. Yes, you got the win, but you're a bit clunky, I thought, in the field and with the ball. But the other night in the shorter game, the 8 overs, you looked like you had your rhythm back with your bowling and your fielding. It's amazing what a win does.
It does, mate. Yeah, the first win, obviously, when you're making 200, you can be a little bit lackadaisical, can't you, sometimes? So our fielding is certainly something we worked on with Gavin Fitness, the fielding coach, and the lads have been great. I thought the other night, in harder conditions with a slippery ball, I thought they caught really well.
And Buff, it's Ferg here, mates. One thing that's really stood out, especially in that game the other night, was the finishing skills of your bowlers, the way that they stuck to a plan, were able to execute it. Is that something that you think Ben Loughlin's been able to help these guys with?
Yeah, I think so, Ferg. Obviously, we brought him across for his experience in finishing innings, something we haven't had for a few years. So he's been really good around the bowling group. The plans seem to be working. And, you know, we obviously haven't got the express pace of a James Patterson at the moment, where you can really change the game that way. So we're going to work different ways to actually finish an innings, and he does that really well.
Great to have Joe Burns back in the mix tonight. Wolf, what role does he play in the lineup?
Yeah, it's not in the middle order, Jess, and see how we're going, I suppose. Allows us to bat a bit deeper. I mean, Jack Prestwich is pretty unlucky because he's done a good job in the couple of games he's played for us. So he adds the bowling dimension, but Joe adds the class batting, doesn't he? So it makes our batting a lot deeper now.
And on your batting, Buff, I was impressed with Tom Banton the other night. He looks like one of those players that you don't fill their head with too much information. You just see ball and hit ball.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right, Ads. I mean, the great thing about him is in the nets, he just plays cricket shots. He doesn't hit one ball in the air. He's a great trainer, hits the basics really well, and he's probably gone a bit too hard early in a couple of the T20 games. Having said that, though, you know, he got that very good 60 against the Melbourne Stars and then played really well the other night. So he'll pick and choose his bowlers a little bit who he goes after, but he's got shots all around the ground, and he's a very good young player. He'll play a lot for England.
And Buff, Ferg again. So obviously Matthew Wade comes into the lineup for the Hurricanes. He's obviously a threat at the top of the order, but they've got a number of guys that can take a game away from you through the middle order. Has there been any chat about which player in that middle order in particular is someone that you've got to put some time into with your planning?
We've done a bit of time with all of them because they hit the different areas, the Hobart Hurricanes, the way they play. I mean, Miller's a class player, McDermott's class, and then they've got some funky players at the top of the order. Jewell, he can go, Malenko goes. So you've really got to get your plans right and execute well. We've been lucky enough, we bowled pretty well against them last time in Hobart. They would have come up with plans to counter that. So it's a case of Matthew Wade coming in, really replaces Darcy Short. That won't change too much there. We're just going to bowl well early. And hopefully, as you know, power play wickets, slow the scoring rate.
Well, it was only a week ago, Buff, that you gave the boys a bit of a serve before they took on the Hobart Hurricanes, and it seemed to do the job because you're now staring down the barrel of 3 in a row. So what is the message from the coach? The boys head out tonight.
Probably can't say on TV, Jess. The blokes know what I normally say in the rooms. After a lot, I mean, the disappointing thing was the Gold Coast game. We didn't bat well enough. That was the one we had to start to pick that up. I think if you look at our batting over a whole tournament, we played really well against the Stars, and we should have actually closed that game out. The challenge tonight is chasing runs. We haven't chased runs well, so the challenge for the batting group is actually chase runs well and chase whatever totals needed tonight. They do that, you get really good confidence.
Well, all the best. We really appreciate you taking some time to have a chat with us here on Fox Cricket. Good luck.
Thanks, Crew.
Thanks, mate.
Darren Lehman there joining us live from the Gabba. It's a really good point. The Heat have to chase runs tonight, and they haven't had to do that. What will be the difference between winning and losing between these two sides tonight, based on also what we saw only a week ago between them down in Tasmania?
If history's to go by, it's how they can combat Chris Lynn. But going to Darren Lehman there, I've been at the end of one of his sprays, and he used to say he's got 2 a year. I remember him getting us a really big one. Then all of a sudden he walked past and he said, "Do you reckon that hit the mark?" And I said, "That hit the mark." So he's definitely got this team playing a different brand of cricket, but a good test tonight chasing.
Yeah, man management is his forte, isn't it? And all of the players that play under him say that he has such an amazing way of getting the best out of them, whether it's the, arm around the shoulder for a cuddle or it's a hard spray. Darren Lehman is certainly the man who can deliver it in the best way possible. Quickly, who wins tonight for you? The Heat or the Hurricanes?
Oh, look, I think the Heat win tonight. They've got momentum. They're a runaway train at the minute, so I feel like the Heat are going to win this one.
So your heads?
I agree. I think the Heat will chase really well, and I think it'll be a quite easy victory in the end.
We'll stay with us here on Fox Cricket. The first ball is next, live from the Gabba.
Summer feels like cricket.
Win the ultimate Brisbane Heat experience for 4.
With CUA's Big Ticket.
Watch the Heat at the Gabba.
From the CUA VIP area.
With flights,
accommodation and $5 grand spending money.
plus a money can't buy experience.
Gabba pitch walk, player meet and greet and more. Enter now.
Enter now.
Stay.
Iron Jack.
Water first. Jack, thirst-crushing refreshment.
These guys are tradies. They don't push a pen for a living. They wield demolition saws, nail guns, and welding irons. So we only sell them the very best workwear. We know what's good for them is good for us.
Are you CIA?
How'd you get in here?
Oh, because she has a camera, she might be streaming.
Before you got me by a 9-year-old, my career's over.
What's the option?
Kill her. Make it look like an accident.
Wow, still recorded. Damn, she's good. We can cut a deal. Come spot me.
My turn.
I just wanna break the rules. I'm just rough exterior. You're a nice guy.
My Spy.
In the Army, I have endless opportunities to grow. I've always wanted to study aeronautical engineering. Now I've got the opportunity to take that to the next level. I'm Colin, and this is my Army.
When you want to update your home's air conditioning, you'll want air with smart automation. Air that's quiet. And air that saves energy. A lot of energy. Isn't it time you updated your air conditioner? Mitsubishi Electric. Works for me.
Beer and cricket didn't always go down so well.
One hand, one bounce.
One hand, one bounce.
Now, 4X Gold and cricket go hand in hand.
Great trip. That will be $114 for the night, please.
$130 for the night, please.
That is $94 for the night, please.
Unbelievable. Why are there so many different prices? And why did we pay so much?
The same hotel can have many different prices, but if you use Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide, making it simple to find a great deal on your hotel.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Hotel Trivago.
Having to work for your runs is hard. But switching to an everyday snap account is easy. Oh, that's big.
When it comes to space, you can't go past a Kluger, right? Oh. Thought I'd lost you there.
Get Kluger two-wheel drive GX Auto from $41,990 drive away. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
You can afford the trusted brands because we have warehouse prices. You don't have to do the job twice, so get a trusted brand, do it once and do it right.
6-litre Dulux wash and wear interior paint, only $91.90. Victor 18-volt blower and trimmer combo kit, $199. DeWalt 12-volt drill driver kit, $99. Earthwall acoustic insulation bats, just $72.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest price is just the beginning, that's our policy.
Look at that. They're lighting it up here tonight.
Coming up, I'm coming up. Feel the rush, I feel the rush. If this ain't legendary, what you call it? I said if this ain't legendary, what you call it? Feel the vibe, I feel the vibe. Extra live, I'm extra live. And I don't need a proof. I fell asleep, a man woke up superhuman.
Station man myself. All right, who's going to win tonight?
You, and I'm expecting a lot of sixes.
A lot of sixes? Well, hopefully, hey?
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Have you got a few in you, Lenny, for the young fella?
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully he's on the money. Yeah, look, big crowd tonight here at the Gabba. The boys are due for a home win, and yeah, they're pumped. We've got a little bit of momentum, so hopefully we can just get the job done.
Yeah, you're right, Lenny. Fans here, mate. The home fans are crying out for a big hitting performance from you guys again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what it is. We are a touring team, it seems like, but we sat down and worked out our matchups, and yeah, hopefully that pay off tonight. Obviously, Wadey's back in their lineup, so he's going to be crucial for them. Early wickets in the power play, no need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
And speaking of that man, Matty Wade, how do you get him out?
I was hoping you were going to tell me that. No, look, obviously he's been playing Test match cricket, so we can try and bowl our hard lengths, and he hasn't played this format for a while, so hopefully he hits one straight up in the air. But he is a quality player, and has shown that over the last 2 years, and yeah, that's a challenge, and we'll see how we go.
Mate, great to have you part of it again. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, boys. Enjoy.
Well, we will. 45 the only thing that's going as he has been of late. There's a lot to look forward to. So, Copes, you did the pitch report early. What did you see?
I saw a really hard, good cricket wicket that's going to offer a lot of pace and bounce, a lot of trust for the batters. You can trust the pace in the wicket, and what that leads to is lots of runs. Baz, you've played a lot of cricket here. To me, this is a test wicket in the middle of the square, and with it being a trustworthy, fast, bouncy wicket, generally it lends itself to high scoring.
Well, I'll tell you what, lads, this is the wicket that last year when Max Bryant and Ben Cutting went absolutely bonkers. This is the wicket that they played on. There was a lot of runs that day. Hopefully the same tonight.
Interesting that Matty Wade, for the first time in 7 1 tosses as skipper of the Hurricanes, decided to bat first. The other 6 occasions he's said about chasing, so clearly a different approach taken from him now that he's back tonight. Let's see how he goes. Great to have him back in the BBL. And they need him, don't they, with Darcy Short on his way to India? Yeah, absolutely. A bit of an unexpected change. I think the coaching staff will have been expecting to come back with Darcy Short. Had Sean Abbott not been injured, Darcy Short wasn't in that original one-day squad to go to India. So you get Matty Wade back from test duties, and all of a sudden you've got a formidable opening partnership there. Matty Wade last year, 592 runs, an average of 42, a strike rate of 146.
Well, lads, I reckon the reason why Matty Wade's chosen to bat first is also a bit of a throw of the stumps in terms of what Brisbane Heat don't want to be doing, because so far this year they have struggled to chase totals. I think their best game is getting out there first, trying to tear into it, and now they're going to have to try and find a way later on this evening to chase the total.
Are you a believer that some teams, some groups of players, just by nature of their personalities, are better as a group and not chasing or setting targets? Does it work that way?
Yeah, definitely. I think it depends how many craft touch players you have, Murray. I think that if we look at the Brisbane Heat lineup, they're chock full of hitters, of boundary seekers, of wonderful players to watch when they get rolling. But if anything, there's maybe just a lack of craft at times. Joe Burns will definitely help that coming into the middle order.
Delivery there from Josh Layla. You talked about it being the test where you coach. You can't get it any more central here at the Gabba than that. Yeah, and the thing that you normally see here at the Gabba is, I guess, bowling short at one end and then bowling wide Yorkers at the other to try and stem the flow. But today it might prove difficult for the bowling teams to, when someone's going, finding a way to get out of jail. Yeah. Squirts off the outside edge. They'll think about two. Jewel comes back. Aggressive running.
Yeah, interesting field here as well. Chris Lynn's set. He's got both his deep square and also his deep point out on the fence. He's got his third man up. He's got both his mid-on and mid-off up. Now, the reason he's got those men in play, I'm anticipating, is because they don't want to get too full. Here at the Gabba, it's short, straight predominantly, but also the ball seems to fly straight. Yeah, so I think that's why they've just got that length right there.
Oh, and he's coming back again at the bowler's end, but Wade responds. So a couple of twos to finish it off, 5 after 1. Do support this team wonderfully well here at the Gabba. A good night for a game of cricket here in Brisbane tonight. They're turning up to see a side, aren't they, that's got on a little bit of a mini roll in the last couple.
Well, after Chris Lynn gave him a spray, really, at Mycricketlive, he had some very stern words to say to his side, and haven't they responded? And he's responded to it himself.
Yeah, I love that chat from Chris Lynn that night. I was with you and JB that night when we heard him talk about guys just not playing how they practice and playing a natural game. And that's what you want to see from people. You're okay with and you're accepting of mistakes when you're playing your natural game. Yeah, mate, couple. Immediate call from Wade. But I think you get yourself into trouble when you start going away from your natural game. And I mean, he was alluding to Max Bryant running down the wicket to Agar's first ball and getting stumped. Just stand there, stay strong and swing through the line of the ball, which is your strength.
Yeah, I think the point he was also trying to make is that there needs more thought. And it's one thing to just go in there and bash the ball, but you need to think about constructing an innings. And that was what he was alluding to. He was frustrated that it was just a one-out approach rather than adding some touch and some craft to it. So that's certainly the question for the Brisbane Heat. We've alluded to the fact that they either win big or they lose big. For them to be able to hang in games, they need to add an element of craft to their game.
Oh, ball, Red. Ball. Well, the bloke with the ball in his hand, not right now, of course.
The Brisbane Heat.
So up-ish and gone. So Burns into the game straight away. And Caleb Jewell departs. Hasn't he been effective all tournament? Matty Renshaw is taking wickets every time he bowls in the power play. Not trying to spin it big, but just aiming in on that leg stump. Both of the left-handers not enjoying it. Caleb Jewell trying to give himself a bit of room and go over the offside. Joe Burns says, thanks for coming. Back at the Gabba. An early little gift. And that's the first wicket down. Hobart Hurricanes 1 for 10. Jewell gone for 5. Disappointed with that shot, I reckon. It's been solid without maximising on 4 or 5 of the starts that he's made. Caleb Jewell, and he throws it away at the end of the second over there. This is an interesting decision by the Hurricanes. So we wondered what it was going to look like at the top of the order, didn't we, with Darcy Short disappearing, and this is one of the alterations they've made.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because he's limited opportunities, I guess, but he hasn't. So high scored 12 this year. It's on Malenko, but an opportunity's an opportunity. He's going to have to do it against a man who has been a revelation, I believe, for Brisbane Heat, because he has bowled the hard overs in every game that he's played, and he's done it with a smile on his face, and he's done it so effectively. He's going to do it again from the Vulture Street end today in the power play.
Slip in for him right from the word go. Yeah, mate. You know what I've loved, Baz, is not just the bowling, but how he's carried himself. And just have a look at Matty Renshaw's wicket there. He's got 6 Big Bash wickets, Matty Renshaw, all left-handers. And that's now, in this tournament, 4 wickets and an average of under 8 to lefties. That's a massive win for them, isn't it? When he can get, because he gets through the overs quickly and he doesn't go for many.
Well, he is, because Ben Cutting's a 5th bowler too, and he's a good bowler in his own right, but you can't necessarily rely on him to bowl 4 overs per game. So the fact that Renshaw can operate with the new ball in the power play, get an over or so out of the way, and get wickets.
Yeah.
Just back on my point before, it's not just the cricket that Khan has brought with him, it's the smile on his face. It's just the Gangnam style celebrations when he takes wickets. That's what you want from an overseas player. We see it with Sandeep, we've seen it with Ralph. These guys are just purely loving being in this country, playing in one of the best T20 comps in the world.
He's such a competitor too. Like he's in at every single ball. He's hunting wickets, this kid.
Yeah, he is. Really interesting tactics here from Matthew Wade, because Zahir Khan, he's a good spinner of the ball. He spins it both ways, which might be why Wade's going to stay in his crease.
He drops onto the short ball and lands it safely.
It's not necessarily a shot you see a lot of at the Gabba. You see most teams when they come to the Gabba, anytime the spinner's on, they're looking to go downtown because the ball doesn't turn a whole lot. You don't see a lot of the sweeps or reverse sweeps on this type of surface. Maybe it's the freedom of being back playing a bit of T20 cricket.
And the current field we've got at the moment, deep mid wicket and deep square leg. Malenko is, just in my experience in Sheffield Shield even, very offside dominant. So I think he's going to look to give himself room and go offside here, maybe with the wrong and going with the spin. Not if it's on his legs, he won't. Picks up 2.
And he's got that fuller than what he'd like, I think, Zahir Khan. With that field, he's got to be trying to bowl that sort of length delivery with both mid-on and mid-off up. He's floated that one quite full.
$24,000, the current count here at the Gabba. Oh, that's beautiful. They love him. They've taken him to their hearts here. That's the end of the third over, 1 for 16. To find the boundary. Hobart Hurricanes been a cautious start with the loss of that early wicket. What a little moment for this fella and his family, little Slater Walker, who has done it tough for the last couple of years. Diagnosed in April 2016 with brain cancer at 17 months of age. I mean, that is just brutally unfair. The Brisbane Heat, he loves them. Loves coming here, the family are right into the BBL, and he spent some time with him. You were out at the bat toss with him, Copes, and it meant the world to that little fella.
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. He handed over the bat for Linney to toss it.
Yeah, mate, come on.
And I had a chance just after the bat flip to speak to the whole family and just what the whole experience meant to him.
Yep.
Young Slater just had the biggest smile on his face. He was high-fiving everyone. You know, that is seriously what dreams are made of. And what a great moment for a young kid who's doing it tough, and a family that are doing it tough with him.
Yep. Good on the Heat boys for, you know, opening their arms up and bringing the family in, and they're all down there having a... Benny Lachlan was on his knees, nose to nose with the little fella for about 15 minutes before the game, so it's good stuff. Malenko sliced it over cover. Should be cut off. It's an extravagant dive.
So man, Benny Lachlan right there. Wonderful fielder, Ben Lachlan. And that's that offside prowess that I was talking about. Loves giving himself room and slicing it over the offside.
Yep. It's tucked away backward a square, just the single.
Baz, power play and you're facing a part-timer. No disrespect to Renners, but are you just going all out attack here? Or do you go the other way and say, well, we don't want to lose a wicket to someone like this?
Look, I think you got to look at the matchup. I think it was two left-handers batting. I think it was a good matchup from the Heat. It was tough for the batters.
Malenko takes him on. Fielder coming in. Oh, and he's made good ground. Ben Cutting. Into his position.
Look, I think, Coach, you've got to try and maximise the power play. You've just got to try and make sure you take the right option, take the smart risk option.
Well, that's nicely put away. Lovely free swing of the bat from Matty Wade.
So a lovely cricket shot this.
What's nice about this too is that last ball that Matty Wade faced Renshaw, he went down and swept him, so Renshaw straight away backs his length off. Matt Wade camps deep in the crease, knows that the ball, he can trust the bounce.
In this lineup, despite the fact they've lost Darcy Short, national duties. So the first $10,000 donation from SeaWorld, from the animals, for the animals. The bushfire relief's taking many different shapes and forms around Australia, and they're going to donate up to $100,000 tonight. 10 grand for every 6 hit from the good people at SeaWorld. Lovely shot from Wayne, as is that. He looks in good touch. He's timed that. He's just really lent on that to go over the leg side. And that 6 that he hit, probably the longest part of the ground, longest pocket in the ground. You know you're in good touch when you're not having to overhit it.
We say he looks in good touch, and he does. He looks in really good touch. But he wasn't in great touch that long ago. But maybe just a change of game, the change of tempo has freed him up. This is a belter as well, I think, lads. What we've seen so far looks, it looks a pretty good wicket to bat on. But he definitely looks free.
He swung hard at that and tucks it backward a square for his second boundary.
You know you can trust the pace and the bounce of the wicket. Wade, he's got none of it, but he's going to get 4 for it. Shuffles across the offside. Most hoiks that you'd say, wouldn't you?
Well, you made mention that he wasn't a couple of weeks ago. Maybe he was, but he was just choosing not to play it, not to show it. He's just copping him on the body. Won't it feel good for Matty Wade to be able to play a pull shot?
It wasn't Layla come around the wicket here and just start bowling into us.
Neil Wagner's.
Eh? Wagner-esque. Change of field as well. Deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket. So you can see that Layla's going to try and go into the body of Wade. Wants to be a bit careful though, because Wade can swivel on one and beat that man at 45 quite comfortably.
He takes it on, he's hit it well. It just lands. Mitch sweeps them out there. Chris Lynn's been good enough to join us. What's the plan out there with those 2 deep onside fielders, Chris?
To catch it.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm just working out the field 1 second. Sure, square leg. You want these 2? Yeah, sure. Yeah, get around. I think we bowled really well. It's a couple of half chances there for us. It's just probably been our area that we do need to improve. I'm actually finding, please. But they are giving us chances, which is a good sign. But I think it looks a good wicket. There was a little bit of swing early, and I think a little bit of spin from Zahir as well. So I'm looking forward to him and Mitch Swepson bowling in tandem.
Malenko straight over the bowler's head. This should be out. Cutting underneath it. And that'll put a smile on the captain's face. But to the naked eye, that looked like the knuckleball that Josh Layla's worked so hard on, and really paid dividends last summer in the Big Bash as well. Holds both knuckles down the back of the seam, comes out looking like an on-pace delivery. And Simon Malenko tried the step hit, back over the head. Ben Cutting, he didn't have to work too hard for that one, which he's thankful for. Simon Malenko, he's got to go for 6. And the Hurricanes now 2 for 36. Sure, they would have been hoping that Malenko could have got a bit deeper to protect, maybe outside the power play, the likes of George Bailey and Ben McDermott in particular. 2 down inside the first 5 overs. Good start for the Heat. So he's a man who knows this form of the game well. Very intelligent player, paced his way through innings as well as anybody. George Bailey, he's got some work to do. 2 down inside the first 5 overs. Thought he might have had a chance there. We'll just take a look at this first one from Ben Cutting, sprinting in off the fence, didn't quite get there. And this one, much nicer. They're the ones you want at mid-on.
It's really intelligent bowling. Spot on. Coach, it looked like knuckleball to me. It's a gutsy ball because he had a deep square leg and a deep point, so he had his men out protecting the square boundaries.
Bailey has to scamper, and he gets there. That's the end of 5, 2 for 39. Another variety from Josh Layla. He's got through a couple, 4 dots, 1 for 15. Economy rated 7.5.
It's that release that Copes is talking about. A knuckleball, you can see, just drops his fingers down on it. That's such a good execution of that delivery. To be able to hit that length, almost draws Lenko into trying to hit him back over his head. It's a double bluff with the square man out. It's perfectly executed. He's been a real champion for the Brisbane Heat, being able to bowl some of those tough overs along with that man, Zahir Khan. But that's perfectly executed. It takes a lot of courage to be able to bowl that sort of delivery on this surface, knowing that a lot of players like to stand and hit straight back down the ground. So perfectly executed, well picked up too, Copes.
Yeah, it's a good point you're making. It's the art of deception as well. It's not just the ball coming out slower. For the kids at home, it's about not giving any visual cues away to the batter, both in your hand, and after he lets it go, the seam stays up, so it still looks the same to a batter. Then Simon Malenko's got his hands already committed to the ball, and that's where he's already done. He can't pull out. So that's the beauty of a good slow ball. Brilliant execution, and on a wicket like this, you need that to be successful. Oh, that's worth a shout. And he's gone. Zahir Khan's drop. At least to leave a tournament like ours with one reminder of what he's been capable of in his career.
Yeah, he's battling an Achilles injury as well. He wasn't even 100% certain he was going to play today until he went out and did a fitness test. So hopefully he is injury free, because when he's at the top of his game, David